The London Bulldogs and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the London Bulldogs and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
On 1st and 10, Keenum. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And this will be a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Complete out right to Jake Butt, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. He's got the first down and more past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now it's Rodgers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, it's Jones.
Whoosh.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 3 catches, 83 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's second and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's third and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. The quick slant caught. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Martavis Bryant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Keenum. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they'll run it here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Deshaun Hamilton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep for Adams. And that's caught inside the 30. And touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Early on, you hit on it. Needing to avoid the big play. Easier said than done, though. There's a big touchdown.
Yeah, but the big thing is when he does get his catches, you've got to tackle him and get him on the ground. Obviously, weren't able to do it on that one.
EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Got a man. He finds Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. McManus's point after is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He completes it to Bryant. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Rodgers now on first down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
That's fine, yeah.
Now Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Yeah, that was his favorite line. That's where I got there from. See, hey, who been fucking with them Browns? That's all I gotta say.
With a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And here now the offense heading back out there. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good.
Say G-Man. I know that's right.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On the counter, here's Jones. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Sliding out of the pocket. And left side here, it's Graham. The completion there lines up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
Well, how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it.
That's blitz coming, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Look at the spin. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. So, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
Hey, check 26.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Graham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. To return, here's Agnew. Shifts by him. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Well, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This is Freeman. Open space inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
58! Hey, where y'all going? Check. Wait, 53. Get 300! Get 300!
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The offense on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Going for the deep ball. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the Broncos coming out now. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Lindsey, and he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. It's fielded at the 45. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense ready to head back out there. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Play action. Now it's Keenum. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance.
Here's Keenum now on second down. And this will be incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Nick Perry in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Desperation time for Keenum on 4th. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the...
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, here's Keenum. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo up.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. So we got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Rodgers going to throw. Looking deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And what a big-time play there. 51 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion. They're going to run for it with Jones. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner.
Boy, you said top 15, not top 10, not top 5, 15.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Got his ass whipped.
Drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Working from the gun, Keenum. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 20. Again, they'll throw with Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Keenum now on 1st down. It's caught by Sanders. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Throwing again is Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now Keenum on 3rd and goal. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Blake Martinez. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get this up only to about the 22. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Rodgers throwing here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 26. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
319. Get reset. Hey, easy.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Londoners, They remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Denver, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.